Hi, I'm Larry Diggin with Constellation Insights, and we're here with Doug Benalan. He is CIO of CURE Insurance and a BT150 member. Hi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here.
So you're in an industry, insurance industry, it's got a lot of moving parts, depends on a lot of data. At a high level, I guess, what's your most valuable use cases and challenges?
Sure. So basically, like in the sense, our motto, CURE motto is, CURE been in the business for 30 plus years. So our motto is to, whoever drives well, you have to provide the affordable car insurance. So we are not looking at the credit score, we are not looking at the socio-economic data like how education-wise, occupations, those data, we are not looking at it. So basically our motto is going back, how well the driving habits, based on that we rate them.
Okay. And so how does that change how you model data and think about it?
Yeah, so basically like in the sense, and then we have to strategically think different flavors. So we look at the LexisNexis data, we look at ISOs, we look at some of the third-party data to enable some of the frauds and some of the key data-driven technologies. So based on that, we rate a person very efficiently.
Okay. And is it unstructured data or structured?
We have everything, but I think mostly like in the sense right now we are focusing more towards the structured data, but we are analyzing some of the patterns for unstructured data also.
Okay. And then as far as you look ahead for 2024, what's the roadmap look like, and what's on your agenda?
So basically, like in the sense, we recently put Guideware, one of the application for our entire insurance suite, meaning for our policy claims billing. So insurance for anything to do with let's say take an example here. For customers to get an online quote in Michigan, it's really challenging because there are a lot of governments and a lot of rules and regulation forms they have to fill. So there are some waiting period and those type of things. But in the market, what we differentiated is basically you could able to sell a policy online regardless of the forms and procedures, because we are catering all these things through our automations and innovation procedures. So we are using some OCR technology to scan the personal injury protection forms, medical forms, and those type of things, so that we can issue a policy to customers in real time or very online. So in the next year, we are focusing even more better. We want to strengthen our core process, because the core process takes like industry standard like 7 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? So we want to standardize this to a certain extent where customers' time is not wasted. So we want to minimize the questions, maximize the technology there. Those are the areas we are focusing constantly.
So is it a case of, in terms of processes, are you basically, taking that continuous improvement sort of model?
Yeah, so, I'm a big fan of iteration model and continuous improvement model. So even my advice, my team is basically, what is most key value to the customer? Let's go and do the speed to market initiative first, rather than waiting for the entire release to happen, because by then the technology will be outdated, and also the business will change their minds for some other new innovative areas, right? So whenever we feel like there's a certain areas we can tackle and do a strategic delivery, that's how I will look into the delivery model.
So you decided to implement Guidewire. Why did you go with a, industry cloud player versus, more horizontal approach?
Right. So I think I would say 2-3 main areas here, right? First main area would be Guideware. When I implemented this Guideware, it's policy, claims, billing, all these 3 different applications in one platform in AWS cloud. So that is very strong. Also, if I look at from the resilience perspective or from the disaster recovery perspective, this enabled us to go across the region. Basically, this is deployed in multiple regions. So even if there is one of the cloud environment went down, the other area will pick up. So my point here is, we are well protected with the business continuity here. Also, on top of this, most of the maintenance and enhancements, if you think about the CIO role in any company, CIO will spend, let's say, around 30 to 50%, depends on organization, on firefighting on a daily operations and troubleshooting some of the areas, failures, and those sort of things. But in the Guideware perspective, most of this operation on a daily basis or most of the maintenance daily basis managed by the Guideware team, which is included in our licensing concept. So that way we can, CIOs and senior leaders in IT can focus on the real business and fullest.
So, did you have to customize a lot?
Yeah, so still we are customizing a lot, meaning we cannot use the out of the box for a successful solution. So there should be some level of customization needs to be done in any industry to cater our business. So, but my theory is don't customize the core concept, because when you customize the core concepts, the problem will be, when you do upgrades, when you do a lot of enhancements, then it will be a problem to catch up with good enablers or good performance areas or good areas where Guidewire is providing you on a yearly basis. So it will take time to come up to the speed to take the upgrades. So my vision is to have, we should, for sure we cannot use the product out of the box, for sure. But I don't want to customize to the core extent, so that way we will be failure down the line. So in between, we should take a part there.
What are 2 or 3 of your most promising technologies that you look at and go, we have to implement this?
Right. So recently we put everything in our React-based responsive system. So that means all of our browsers and all of our mobile applications are well responsive system. So that means you can cross browsers and easy to deploy. Those type of technologies we put together now. Also, we have enabled our continuous iteration and continuous. You must have heard CI/CD pipeline. So we have enabled the CI/CD pipeline for our CURE.com platforms. So also we have brought an analytics platform, cloud-native analytics platform. So if you think about this in the industry of insurance, the data is the key part. So whenever we want to make a decision, for example, my claims team want to understand, hey, how many claims open right this minute, or how many claims open and untouched for a period of time. So those kind of modeling softwares will help us to understand where we stand on an operation perspective. So this kind of analytics is AI and analytics is very important for us, as well as some of the fraud detection. So we are working very closely on fraud detection at this point. So we are about to deliver this year, our first quarter. So that's one of the new technologies we are looking.
And do you look at customer experience differently in insurance? Like, is it all about the decision time? Is that what frames the whole experience and satisfaction?
Okay, I'll give you an example here, right? So when we went for Michigan delivery, when we launched in Michigan in the year 2021, I know we all call them as a speed to market delivery. The reason being is, in the industry, I don't see much carriers are able to implement a new state within 6 months. Very first time a new product. That's a great Guidewire, because we moved from our legacy into our Guidewire. So within 6 to 8 months, from top to bottom, meaning getting the rules, getting the all the requirements, the scope, and putting together a team and establishing a well-planned approach, getting the sprints ready, getting the environment built up. All these things taken place within 6 to 8 months, and we could able to deliver a speed-to-market approach for Guidewire in Michigan. So, but when I reflect and think about that approach, and when I think about why we all put our effort there to launch that product, but when I think about this in a customer's perspective, so very first day when the product is launched, there was first customer in Detroit. So he was giving a press conference. He was telling us, I could save 60% of car insurance by switching to you guys, which is in his own words, he said, man, it's a blessing. So it's to the Detroit Free Press. So that is considered to me, that is the most important for me, to whether customers are satisfied fully on this implementation.
Okay. So it's about price, quick of decision.
Yes.
And obviously the tech has to work too.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.